Sundrop and Moondrop are some creepy dudes, but how can they be creepier? That's what the modding community answers on a daily basis, and those terrifying mods are what we're exploring today. This dude was already giving me creeper vibes, so I can't imagine it getting worse, but let's do this anyway. In at 10, Huggy Wuggy. Huggy Wuggy is the main antagonist of Poppy Playtime Chapter 1. Huggy Wuggy was created by Playtime Code to be embraced by children, because you can hugs, Huggy Wuggy, embracing, yeah. The toy soon became the most successful product of the company, but was eventually modified at some point prior to the events of the game with some form of scientific procedure that turned it into a flesh being with a human brain and organs. It made him a monster, basically. His first appearance saw him pretend to be a statue to fool the player. As soon as the player managed to grab the key for the next room and turning the power back on, Huggy Wuggy disappears from his pedestal, and then, throughout the game, he stalks the player from vents or high unreachable places. And this mod turns this freak of nature into the goddamn Daycare Attendant. Now, I'll be honest, the Daycare Attendant is already normally pretty sus if you ask me. Like, this man could use a conversation with Chris Hansen if you catch my drift, but turning them into Huggy Wuggy seems like a little much. In at 9, Simon YOC. Simon YOC is an original character owned by @SolidNoise on TikTok. This mod only replaces Sun, but it is still creepy as hell. I know nothing about this character, but from the comments on this one, it is absolutely terrifying. So let me read you some of these comments so you can have context. Quote, "Oh no, Jangle the Puss Puss has gotten her hands on Roxanne Wolf." Quote, "Whoa, she's so beautiful. Good job, really like it." What? I know nothing about this character, but I think that makes it even worse. Hopefully. Actually, you know what? It's probably better that I don't know. I don't want to know about this character because the more I know, the more I'm liable for when it's revealed that they're actually a predator. In at 8, Shadow YOC. Now, while you might think that this Shadow the Rabbit mod is the dark antithesis of the Simon character that we just mentioned, the mod author states that Shadow the Rabbit replaces Moon, and that Shadow is owned by FightMe024 on TikTok. There are no comments on this one, luckily, but again, this is some creepy. Like, there are only a few images of this, and the last one, which means that I can't make the numbers too long, but for real, this guy is kind of horrific looking. It's kind of creepy. With 2 likes, 111 downloads, and 1.1 thousand views, I think we can all agree that this is even more likely to be a predator than the last character, hence why they're higher on the list. However, unfortunately, this is not the last original character that we'll be dealing with today, but it is still giving me the heebie-jeebies, so we're just going to move on. In at 7, Splenkis and Yoinkus. Now, I really have no idea what these characters are, but I included them because there aren't really that many mods for the Daycare Attendant, okay? So, anyway, the name also reminds me of the TikTok trend for the "What do you think, Wankus Bonkus? Kill him. Oh, you naughty Wankus Bonk." You know that? The Wankus Bonk? Yeah, that thing. Anyway, the description reads as follows, quote, "This mod replaces Sunbot and Moonbot models with the critically acclaimed Splenkis and Yoinkus. No further comment needed. Gonna be real, I don't know what's up with the mod loader stuff, but I'm going to assume it works fine with this. All you need to do is extract splenkis.zip and drag packchunk34-windows no editor.pack into FNAF 9 content packs under your game's installation directory." That's all it says, okay? Although I do have to disagree, there is further comment needed because I have no idea where these came from or whose delusional mind thought that this was gonna be better than the original animatronics. Then the comments don't help either. Someone said that the mod doesn't seem to work until they renamed a folder. Someone said, "No way," and another person just replied with "lol." Like, what the hell? Can someone actually help me with this, please, for the love of God? Like, what is this? Who did this? Whose brainchild birthed this? This is wrong. In at 6, Mini Reena. Okay, so this mod is one that we had installed on the security breach, but it's ruined by mods playthrough on this channel, and this was pretty damn creepy. This is basically just replacing the sun and moon with colored versions of the Mini Reena with jester hats on top, and then upscaled to be the size of my nightmares. Now, like, when this was loaded into the game for the first time, I had absolutely no idea that it was, and I was absolutely terrified. But I mean, like, hey, it could be worse. right? Yeah, it actually can be. It's just going to get worse, wait and see. I will admit though that this certainly made the moon animatronic creepier than it was especially when it started crawling around the play structure when I was looking for the generators. I actually screamed and I nearly cried. I didn't come close to throwing up, which, let's be honest, would have made a great episode. Like, imagine if I had thrown up on camera. Like, damn. That's some old gaming YouTuber moment vibes, you know? It's like peak Smosh games. Halfway through into number 5, Old Sun and Moon. Swaps out textures with edited ones to make them more creepy. Still based by preference if it's creepy, is the description for this mod. And honestly, it's incredibly accurate. And also the foundation for these lists, okay? If it's creepy or scary is based on preference. So I don't know why people keep commenting stuff like this isn't scary, because you know what? It might not be scary to you, but it could be scary to someone else. So stuff off. Anyway, this old texture for Sun and Moon is hella creepy, and honestly I'm kinda glad that I didn't have this one installed, otherwise I might have actually come close to puking. Like this one is hella creepy, dude, and like even just the sun is bad. Wait till you see the moon too. Like they're both cracked like mosaic tiles or mosaic or however you say that word. Like tiles, or like they look like stained glass, and it makes me hella sus. I don't know how I feel about this guy already, but I feel like this guy is going to grab me in awkward places, and then I'm gonna get cuts all over those places because he looks like broken glass. I'm surprised that he didn't just fall apart in the ball pit. Like one little flick and this dude crumbles. They just really seem to be after my Fazballs, and I'm gonna keep making jokes about how creepy this because honestly I don't like it. Okay, it's wrong. He's messed up. In it for the daycare puppet. This is just actually terrifying, okay? This is like if Baby and Ballora had a kid and it was in the form of a mini reena, because, well, you're about to see. This is just absolutely horrifying, honestly. It was originally earlier in this list, but I bumped it up because Christ almighty, I don't want to touch this with a 10-foot pole. The mod description for this reads, quote, update, I changed the files and stuff because it was too confusing for y'all. Some didn't even read the note I left, ... Well, it is what it is. Enter here with a new mod. This time the one returning is none other than the puppet as Daycare Puppet. She'll replace Sun and Moon with 2 different models. You can also have Sleepy Guard Puppet replacing Moon and Sun if you like it better that way. And you know what? I don't like it either way. It's a well-made mod, and honestly, absolutely amazing hands down, but this is one of the most cursed things that I have ever seen in my life. Like, dear Lord, why did we think that we had to do this? Why did we have to do this list? I say that as if I didn't make myself do this list, but like, god damn it, me! Getting close to the end in number 3, Nightmare Sun. This mod replaces Moondrop with Nightmare Sun. This creates the Sun Transforms into Nightmare Sun mod by RSH on Game Banana. And let me tell you, this is one hella freaky character. Honestly, this is one of the freakiest versions on this list. And if it wasn't for what's coming up and some slight memeage, it would 100% be the #1 pick. This mod somehow completely removes the feeling of a creeper or predator out of this character and replaces it with actual terror. I don't know how the hell I would be playing this game if this were a part of it. And honestly, if this wasn't supposed to be a ruined by mods series instead of like security breach, but it's actually scary series, I would have been all over this mod because it genuinely makes the daycare sequence horrific. Especially if you aren't me and don't use the whole gamma up screen brightening trick to actually get through it as fast as possible, okay? I found that very beneficial. The first time I tried the daycare, it took me hours, okay? I wasn't good at it. I wanted it to be easier this time around. But with this installed, I don't think I would ruin the mod with that. I would just use the flashlight, but it's terrifying. Penultimately, in at number 2, Waluigi. The Waluigi mod is something that unfortunately I wasn't able to find on the Nexus or on Game Banana, and I think that kinda sucks. This mod was seemingly the basis behind the security breach, but it's ruined by mods video series from Toasted Shoes, because that's the very first one that I saw and it ended up being a load of crazy. This mod wasn't really that well made, I guess, for lack of a better term, since after all the mod just placed Waluigi's model over the Sundrop model and didn't actually replace it, so Sundrop was still poking out at places. But the mod was seemingly removed from the Nexus. But it was at one point there, so I guess it's good that nobody else is gonna have to deal with that. But to be fair, it's also funny as all hell. I wish I could have played with this mod because, oh well, it's fine. I don't have to deal with it. This is still pretty damn cursed and not anything that I would want to deal with normally, but seriously, this is, it's funny. It's hilarious. But still oddly terrifying at the same time. And isn't that the combination we all look for in a woman? I mean, mod, I might have said too much. And finally, in at number 1, the puppet. This is 2 separate mods that work together because, well, they're both made by Braun on Game Banana on the Nexus and turned Sundrop and Moondrop respectively into the puppet from FNAF 2 and Nightmarion from FNAF 4. Quote from the Nightmarion page: "This is a Nightmarion model swap for Moondrop, and yes, I know that the legs are disconnected, but this is the best I can get it right now." But I think that the disconnected legs makes it even creepier because it adds a layer of mystical or magical to the game. And I mean, considering how we're fighting against a woman possessed by the sentient living code of a dead serial killer, I think that a little magic is fine for this series. And I think that you can't really fight me on that point. Plus, then that character ends up getting replaced with a version of the serial killer's original endoskeleton infused body that then also gets filled with his sentient code form. So frankly, put any of these mods on this list would actually make sense, aside from the Huggy mod. I don't think that that fits anywhere. Although there is a Huggy Wuggy is Sundrop mod for Ploppy Playtime, so I guess it evens out. That's all the time we have for today, friends. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been Inshaw, remain Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in another video. Thank you.